Let's meditate. There's a wild pig. Wild boar just passing by. It's before 6 o'clock. I thought I'll meditate before the rooster make huge noise like yesterday. I had a dream of Mr. Nakayama. He's my mentor. A gentleman. Always talk calmly, choosing the right word. He's a scientist. He had lots of friends. Mr. Oka is a famous mathematician. They talked about Dogen. Mr. Decimal is also somewhat famous, especially in France. He's the one who went to Paris, and I think he sat facing Eiffel Tower from the other side of the Seine, meditating for a week or so. So that captured people's eye. And that's the beginning of his sharing the idea of Zen in France. That may have been, I don't know, 100 years ago, 80 years ago perhaps. The dream was my meeting Nakayama-san toward the end of his life. I remember visiting him at the hospital. I was in the US and traveling to Japan. A few weeks later, I heard from his daughter that he passed away. She said he was talking with the doctor, and when the doctor was looking somewhere else and looked back to him, Mr. Nakayama, the doctor found he passed away. I presume that was very peaceful death. No pain. Just passed away. When I met him, he was on the bed. We talked as usual. And there are like 4 or 5 people in the same room. as usual, very quiet. One story I just remembered. I visited his home. Every time I meet him, one day we were looking outside the garden, and he said, looking at the tulip, he said as if to himself, "It's so interesting that tulip has such a color." The miracle of the nature as well. Bringing out so much of the color. Talking about the miracle of the nature's way, I posted the video about the octopus. Impressed by the movie called My Octopus Teacher. A man in South Africa met octopus while he was diving. And get to be friends with octopus. They communicated with each other. The thought I had during the night was about my response to a friend who sent me a text, how I'm doing was his sentence, nothing more. He's a guy in that small town I visit in Issyou, Japan, south of Mount Fuji. We get to know each other. Had a fun time. To respond to that, I said something like, this is in Japanese, 一生懸命生きてます. I'm living the best I can to the fullest. 一生懸命. One life with devotion or some such translation. And then I said, what's the other one I said? Anyway, the meaning of the next word I put is, anything can happen anytime. So do the best while we can. It just popped up. And later I thought, that's so true, to be like that, to live the best we can. You never know what happens next. Then I thought about, not at the time when I wrote that back to him. Yesterday I thought about, yes, that makes total sense. Living the best we can. Whether the wild pig just passed by, or octopus, rooster, trees, they're living their best each moment. Why not I do that? That made total sense. Fully utilizing the potential, then kigen, total expression of what we got in living life. There's sincerity and truthfulness in that process. 一生懸命, doing your best, fully utilizing the talent we've got. Whatever we do, whoever we are, it doesn't matter to do the best. The universe did the job to bring us to live on earth as much as the trees and animals and octopus got life. Then I thought about 90-some-year-old lady sitting on the ground on the weed and pulling weed with a smile in the sun. This is in a small town I visit in Japan. The town called Matsuzaki. Her daughter is running a temple, I found. So I talked with her, stopping my bicycle, and she was happy doing her best to contribute, to cut the weed, sitting on the ground by herself, smiling. There was something there that I felt. Feeling her being, happy being, with nature doing her best. Mr. Nakayama did his best to talk about Zen, Satori, koan, meditation, enlightenment. Spent his whole life almost, after he did some work at a company in charge of product development, innovation. And his point is that Satori and creativity has something in common. Innovation. Certainly, life is a continuous innovation. Whether you are the book writer talking about Zen enlightenment, or old woman doing the weeding, representing what she could do. So it doesn't matter what you do, you just choose and do your best, living your life. That's Zen kigen. Whether you call that Zen or spirituality, it's just a name. What is the substance? So, Rooster is doing his job. And we can respect with each other. Being on this planet, sharing time. Maybe meeting Octopus may be a bit different from meeting Rooster. But the movie was impressive. It's kind of like, what's the movie? The movie of someone meeting from the other planet. Now I can remember that. Was at Michelangelo in Vatican. Man is stretching out his hand, and God stretching out his hand and finger, almost touching. What an image! Whether it's the fingers of God and human to touch, or the octopus and human to touch and get to know each other. And maybe me and the rooster, wild pig, sunset, and sense the miracle of nature. Each of us can do the best. Whatever the field of our interest. There's Zen's Daisetz saying in one of the books. Shimura, a journalist, was asking Daisetz, anyway, Daisetz was saying something like, you don't have to become very famous it is stupid to push people to be like having a huge dream to be famous, to become famous in their life. Daisetz was quoting some phrase for young people to be ambitious. But he said, you don't need to be. Just know that there are people who live their best in what they do. They may not be famous, but they did what they could in the setting they were given, and pass away and die, not to be known. But those people are the people, Daisetz said, who live their life the best they can. Not to become famous or rich, but doing whatever they can. Without known to anyone, but have a tombstone, maybe not at the corner of the little village. Daisetz said, those are the ones also need to be appreciated. I just remember that old woman with a smile in the sun, weeding. It was a happy moment for me. I shouldn't say that's the meeting similar to the guy to meet Octopus. I laugh, but that could be true, that there's a connection, the resonance. I just realized it's 23 minutes. Was it my delusionary thought? I hope not. You have a good day. Thank you.